Podcasting from their dining room table in West Hollywood, California,
it's the Stonebergs with Dave Stone.
What can I say? I'm a man of very stupid principles, okay?
And Katie Strandberg.
My brain needs help.
Advice and encouragement from two goofballs who can barely run their own lives.
Call now at 213-282-3615 to be part of the show.
Now welcome the Stonebergs.
That's us, boo.
That's us. We're here. We are all here. We're locked in. It's a rainy day in LA.
Gloomy.
It's gloomy.
It's a gloomy day.
It's a gloomy one.
We've had a lot of rain recently in LA, and that's weird for us. What would you say on average? We get one good rain a quarter?
Probably.
4 times a year,
Unless
seems.
it's El Nino.
Yeah.
That was a big deal for Californians back in the day.
Last week was crazy. It flooded.
As a not Californian, what do you think of our rain issues? Because we're afraid of them. I was born here.
Well, I have no room to speak as a Georgian because we are the same way with snow and ice.
Oh.
People in the South freak out when there's snow and ice because our infrastructure is just not prepared for it. And I feel like that's how LA is. I mean, I don't know anything about LA's infrastructure, but as far as the drivers, the population seems to spaz out every time there's rain. But like, seriously, last week was nuts.
Yeah.
Like it rained. Well, that's why we missed, or 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago we missed,
2 weeks
yes.
ago we missed an episode due to rain. And I know that sounds weird because we record indoors.
Yeah.
But, yeah, our buddy Skippy's coming in from the Inland Empire. And it was just crazy rain, and it was like, let's just...
We had a snow day. We had a rain day.
We had a rain day. But, yeah, I like it. I like the rain around here. That's the one thing I miss. Not the one thing, but one of the main things I miss about living anywhere else other than Southern California is just I like weather. I like 4 seasons. Yeah. And we don't really get that out here. So when we get a little bit of rain or if it gets cold, that's why I love it when it gets cold.
Yeah.
People don't think it gets cold in LA, and it does. February is the coldest month for LA because all those years living in the van, I would have to monitor the weather. And February, it would get the coldest I was ever in the van in LA was 39 degrees, which, is not that cold.
No, that's cold.
But if you're inside a vehicle
that
doesn't have a space heater or anything like that, like it got cold. That's back when I used to sleep in a ski mask. It would get so cold because I had everything else was great. I had a 0 degree sleeping bag, like a really great heavy duty sleeping bag. And then even if that wasn't enough, you could layer up with blankets and I would layer up my clothes. But, my face was still cold. Like my nose would get cold. So eventually I got a ski mask.
And you would wear it
just
to
like
sleep?
a psycho sleeping in a ski mask. I got broken into twice while I was in the van. I always wish somebody would break in while I was wearing the ski mask.
Did it? No, you weren't wearing the ski mask.
Not the 2 times that it happened. Sorry. But could you imagine breaking into a vehicle? Not only is there someone in there, but this guy's got a ski mask on.
And didn't you have a machete on hand?
Yeah, I pulled a machete on a guy. That was a good time. But that's not why we're here today.
We're not here today.
How are you doing, Boo?
Well, I actually have a little fun story. I know you like the road rage, or Dave's traffic school.
Well, I don't like road rage.
Okay. Sometimes
you had an incident this week.
I did. I had an incident.
I was not happy to hear about this.
So I'm driving along, scooting and tooting in the Hollywood area.
Yeah.
Going up a nice little small street and going the speed limit, doing the due diligence of a good driver, and suddenly I see somebody scoop in front of me, and then they brake, and they're going nuts. I see the hand gestures, the F, the
So
rage.
they cut you off,
right.
And now they're mad at you.
Yes. And what you told me is brake checked me.
They brake checked you.
I guess you're trying to get into an accident if you're like braking or...
Well, that's a technique to just, when someone's following too close, I've utilized that. You just brake check, meaning, hey, back off. Give me some space. That's annoying. That's one of the most annoying things is when somebody's riding your ass a little too close.
Yeah.
So, but you're in a 2-lane street.
Yeah.
2 lanes going in the same direction.
Yes.
and you're in the left lane,
Yes.
minding your own business, going the speed limit.
Tootin' and scootin'.
And the way you told it to me, the guy in the right lane, his lane began to run out because in L.A., there's certain streets that are 2-lane, but during the day you can park. You can street park.
You could just hazard light it, run in and grab some food
Yeah.
or whatever. A lot of people do that.
It's the opposite. At night, you can street park, and those need to open up during the day. But anyway, yeah. So he's driving in the right lane, and he's approaching a parked car, and his lane's about to run out, and somehow that's your problem.
Well, he was in my blind spot, so I'll take accountability for that.
It's not your fault that he's in your blind spot. Again.
And so it was the biggest overreaction. It was crazy. So when he got in front of me, he stopped his car. It wasn't just like a check. It was like, hey, girl, I'm going to get you.
Now, y'all were at a red light?
No.
Just,
in the middle of
he stopped.
He stopped.
The flow of traffic.
Yes.
To do what?
To just scream and yell.
And he
right?
got out of his car.
Not then. So then we keep driving, and it's a red light, and I didn't go next to him because there were 3 lanes. You had 3 choices. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to go behind because I don't know what he has in his car. I'm just a bit afraid. So then he is at the red light and he gets out of the car and he's screaming like F you, you B.
He approached you.
Yes. So he's coming and I rolled down my window and I just waved him in. I was like, okay, you want to just, okay, we'll go.
And where was your right hand?
It was right here where my handy bear spray is.
That's your left hand. Your right hand was grabbing the bear spray?
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
So comes up to the car and he's screaming at me. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I went like zen. And I was like, you're yelling at me. You're being irrational. I'm not going to apologize. Like I kept
That's
labeling.
a great technique, by the way.
Labeling his behavior like you're yelling. You're calling me names. You're making me uncomfortable.
When people get heated or start to scream and yell, when you don't match them, when you remain calm, sometimes it pisses them off even more. But it's a great technique. It's a great device to diffuse tense situations.
It did.
I mean, we had that kind of the other day. We're in the drive-thru at Starbucks, and there was a unhinged, possibly unhoused fella.
Yeah.
And he just keeps eyeballing me, and I was just like, "You looking at me?" Not in an aggressive way. I was just like, "You looking at me?" He goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Why?" He goes, "People judging me for smoking weed." I was like, "I'm not judging you. I smoke weed.
Yeah.
We're cool, bro."
Yeah.
You know?
And then he went on his merry way. Yeah.
So this asshole approaches the car.
Yeah.
And he's screaming at you.
Screaming. And then I was just kind of frozen at that point. And then he went back to his car, but he was just going to his passenger side. So he left the door open.
You didn't tell me that.
There was a moment.
So he returned to his car,
Right.
but he walked around the passenger side?
No. He was in his driver's seat. The door was open. He was reaching over.
Reaching across.
But then I was scared because I was like, okay. But then the green light happened, and then he just went. And he was doing the slow drive, you know, when you're turning left, and like he thought I was going to follow him, which I did not. I went the other way, but yeah, it shook me a little. I've never had somebody get out of the car. That's a big move. And he wasn't a nice person.
My only note
I
would
will
be
say-
you should have unloaded that bear spray. If someone's approaching your car in that context, they're not coming to give you a hug.
I know.
I would have at
didn't
least
know.
showed him the bear spray, if not unloaded that bitch on him.
No, it was like every tactic I've ever used with my family. I just went dead Katie and like, okay, this is what's happening. Yeah. I'm glad Charlie wasn't with me.
Yeah.
That would have been bad. But you know what this is? It's a good lesson.
What's the lesson here?
Just, I'm going to get a different car.
The lesson
So I'm gonna-
is when you're driving in the right lane and there's cars parked in front of you, it's not the person in the left lane's responsibility
yeah.
to let you in or make sure you're okay. You slow up, you put your blinker on, and when you can get over, you get over.
I know.
You don't cut the person off. That annoys the shit out
and
of me.
he was kind of like a hipster, which was weird. Like I could have like punched his
You would
lights
have beat
out.
the shit out of that little guy.
I could have.
And you should have.
But I didn't want to get out, and I didn't want to match it because he was unhinged. Like something was off. And I think at the end I said, "Call your mother." Anyway, That's the ketchup.
Well, and I may or may not have returned to the scene of the crime 2 days in a row looking for this bastard. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was just
Listen,
joyriding.
Mr. Black Lexus.
Yeah,
we're on to you.
I've got a full description of him and his vehicle. So please let me run into this little fucking turd screaming at women in the internet. That's the other. And I've had so many incidents similar to that where, all right, I'm not saying I've been completely innocent in all of them, but here's the routine that has happened to me probably 20 times in my driving career. Somebody does some wackadoo shit. I respond to it either with a yell or a bird or something. Now we're pulled over wanting to fight. And I always go, all right, before this goes any further, let me make sure I understand this. You drove like an asshole, but now you want to kick my ass.
I don't know shit about shit, but fuck you, huh?
Yeah.
You're the guy who's driving like a fucking maniac, but I'm the jerk and you want to fight me. Okay. And we can fight if you want to, but before we go any further, I want to make sure I understand what happened. And a lot of times when you lay it out like that, ooh, it just kind of, it staggers them. But like, no, I don't want to fight you, but I also don't want to get sideswiped by an idiot who doesn't know how to drive. That's why I responded the way I did, sir.
Yeah.
Well, now if you want to fight me because you're an asshole behind the wheel, we can work something out. But don't act like I just fell out of a tree and started heckling you.
Yeah.
I said something or did something because you drove like a fucking jerk.
I feel like that kind of person is so angry that I just wonder how he was at his job or wherever he was going. Like, he obviously didn't walk in like, hey, everybody. Like, I feel bad for his coworkers. I feel bad for his mother. I don't know why I said call your mother, but I figured out what I'm going to do.
That's a good diss. Call your mother.
Call your mother.
Yeah.
You have some mommy issues.
You need a mother very, very badly.
I really trigger people at times, like mommy issue types, where it's like, whoa, you are mad.
Well, I think it's easy to look at you
your
and just see, oh, here's a blonde white lady,
Oh, yeah.
in an SUV, and she's probably this or probably that. Like, you embody certain stereotypes to.
Oh, yeah. I look like a Karen mom bitch.
But you're not.
No offense to.
It's not your fault. You're blonde and have a white SUV or riding in the proper lane at the proper speed. Again,
and I was listening to Cyndi Lauper. Who cuts you off when you're listening to Cyndi Lauper?
And see, I do the same. I've had the same exact thing happen almost on a daily basis where I'm driving in the left lane and I see that the person in the right lane, either their lane's about to run out because it's a merge lane, or just like you, there was parked cars in front of them. And I notice it, and I always let them in. But like, I let them in with no turn signal and no thank you. And I'm just like, boy, I'm sure glad I was here to help. Like, I'm constantly looking out for my fellow driver, not necessarily because I'm such a sweet guy, but it's just I'm trying to avoid. Again, when an accident happens or a fatality happens or an injury, it doesn't matter who's at fault. So even though I know I'm in the right, let me work around this idiot. But so many people just drive in those lanes. Or like even when someone's merging onto the freeway, like when you're merging onto the freeway, throw on your blinker and find a spot to cut in at.
Oh, merge. Come on, you got to seize the goddamn gap.
Don't just aimlessly drive until the lane runs out. And I'm always the guy who's like, well, I'm glad I saw it. And sure, go ahead. And no one thanks me.
Sometimes
no
they
one
do.
puts a blinker on.
Sometimes
very rarely.
Hello, good job.
Very rare. Well, I'm glad it wasn't more serious than.
Well, I've decided I'm going to get a new car, an armored truck.
Yeah, you're gonna get. You were asking me what's the most intimidating vehicle.
Yeah, I want to get an intimidating, like a big Chevy, like raised. I mean, I wanted to raise my Prius back in the day, and you guys made fun of me.
Yeah,
so whatever.
That's a ridiculous
Okay.
idea.
Well, next feature.
Moving right along. I'm glad you're okay, Boo. You handled it well. My only note would be unload that bear spray. We'll get you some more.
It'll be. I'll just unload it on myself. It'll be like spraying the other one.
What was that lame Jay Leno Doritos slogan back in the 80s? Keep crunching. We'll make more.
Crunch all you want. We'll make more.
keep spraying, we'll make more.
That was a good Jay Leno.
Unload that bear spray.
Concussion.
Bear spray, much more intimidating than just regular pepper spray, by the way. Get the big canister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he have that?
Yeah, he had the bear spray. Yeah.
And a big club. Didn't he have a club?
Yeah, he had an ass baton or something.
Wow. I wanted to start singing I Love You, but I felt like that might have been more of a trigger. Anyway, we're going to keep going, but I am in the market for an armored truck. So if you're selling one or a mail truck, old police car, I'm into it.
Well,
okay.
Just know that I have notes on you, Mr. Black Lexus hatchback with a black heritage tag and a cracked rearview mirror.
Okay.
So.
I will look for you. I will find you.
Anyway, moving on. New feature. It's a feature we've been doing, but now it has a fun name. Couch Potato. I figured we'd play a little Couch Potato today.
Yep.
And what's Couch Potato? That's just shit we've been watching on TV.
Yep.
And been in a true crime mode lately.
My God, I
a lot
can't
of
get
true
enough.
crime. I go peaks and valleys with true crime. Like I'll go a few months and be obsessed with it, and then I get burnt out on it. And then I've heard this point made before. Most recently, I think it was on one of Eddie Pepitone's recent specials. But just the concept of how like murder shouldn't be entertainment.
Yeah.
It's like I'm bored. Put on a murder. You want to come over and watch a murder? And it is a good point how other people's tragedy and misery shouldn't necessarily be our entertainment, but it is entertaining, especially if you can
entertaining.
Detach yourself from it. And it's, I don't know these people. But yeah, true crimes.
Well, I feel like it's a step up from my Bravo world because it's like, I'm learning about killers.
Yeah.
So this is good. I think it's just I'm studying the mind of psychopaths.
Years ago when I was driving Lyft and Uber here in Los Angeles, I was in the middle of a big true crime kick. And in between rides, if I was in certain areas of town, I would go and find these, like, I guess lack of a better term, landmarks for some of these. I mean, there's so...
You would drive to murder areas?
Yeah, if I was in the area, like if I went to that restaurant where Robert Blake killed his wife in the Valley. I went and saw where they found the Black Dahlia. There's the Los Feliz murder house. We used to live close to the La Bianca house in Silver Lake, the second night of the Manson murders. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how to regulate that or monitor it within your own behavior and viewing schedule. But like true crime's interesting. And we watched several this week. We watched one called Mostly Harmless, which should be renamed Mostly Useless.
Mostly Harmless. Which one was that?
Mostly Harmless was the hiker. It was about a hiker on the Appalachian Trail. And you know about the Appalachian Trail, right?
Big old trail of hiking.
Yeah,
People try to leave their
I believe
life,
it starts in North
it's a good
Georgia,
thing.
goes all the way up to Maine. I had a buddy who did it one time. I think it takes about 6 months for the average hiker to do it from start to finish. But is that something you'd ever have an interest in? Because they got the Pacific Coast Trail out here, similar. I don't know if I ever have the motivation or the physical fitness to do something like that. But I wouldn't mind going out for like a week. Like, let's, see how far we can, travel in a week, on a nice trail.
So just go on a trail. And now are we in this scenario wearing our stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're not checking into the Red Roof Inn at the end of each night. It's through camping. It's where you everything on your back is all you have. And the one thing my buddy told me, who did it, he said the most common thing that all the hikers that were doing the Appalachian Trail, the common mistake was they would overpack. Because if you think about it, like when you're walking, when you're carrying everything, your whole kit, you got your roll and maybe a tent and food and clothes and stuff, like every little thing adds up. Like,
that sounds like a nightmare.
Even an extra book, I'm not going to read this book. Even whatever a book weighs, even an extra pound or two makes a difference when you're putting in that much work. But anyway, we saw one called Mostly Harmless. I think that one was on Max. Was that on Max? I think so. It started off good. It was, and I don't want to spoil much, but It was a hiker, and they found his body in a tent, and
He
nobody
had starved to death.
Nobody knew who this guy was.
Yeah.
So then this team of online sleuths spent, I don't know how long they spent. Was it a couple of years?
A long time.
I appreciate online sleuth culture. I love, there was that one we watched a few years ago, Don't Fuck with Cats. Remember that one?
Oh, yes.
That one was solved by some online sleuths, and I appreciate that. The problem you run into sometimes is you just have people that unfortunately have very little else going on, and maybe they go a little too deep into it. And
I can't say anything.
Some of the characters in this documentary, people who are operating the Facebook page, but anyway, they're just trying to find out the identity of this guy.
Because he's good looking. He's the only good looking guy they've seen in like a million years.
Yeah, it's all these female online sleuths who are like, he's cute. I'm gonna devote the next 2 years of my life of finding out who this guy was. And they find out who he was, and it was, the guy's kind of a prick. So
that's it.
All right, there you go.
I did like the trail. What are they? Trail angels.
Trail angels
who come and bring you food and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Yeah,
that was cute. But yeah, a lot of. All right.
Yeah, it was just one of those.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Mostly Harmless?
I'd give it a 6. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
But like so many movies and documentaries these days, and I know I sound like a cranky old man. All right. Speaking of which, we watched an Oscar-nominated movie, Anatomy of a Fall. Now, and it was good. I enjoyed the movie, but again, at the end, you fucking figure it out. We're not going to tell you how this really ends. And it's like, will somebody please give me a nice bow on top ending to a story?
You know what's interesting? You didn't tell me it was subtitles. So that was fun. Mm-hmm. That was fun to find out right at the beginning. Yeah, you knew how to bait me.
You once told me you don't want to read a movie.
But now I do because my ADHD, it's easier to read it and then kind of put them together. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was like, I'm sitting through a foreign film. Aren't I special?
I don't mind reading subtitles. The problem there is I'm looking at the words and not the actor. I'm missing the acting. And I'm just reading. You know what I mean? I don't know how you're supposed to balance those two.
Very hard.
So
very hard.
Interesting movie. I think. Where was this one set and
Somewhere.
shot? I
Like
think France.
The courtroom was neat. That was a different vibe. I liked that.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like the different procedures and setups and traditions of other countries' legal systems.
Yeah.
You know, the courtroom was set up differently than than what we're accustomed to in America. But good movie, but just the ending just.
Why can't anyone end anything? I want to see someone die, go to jail, fall in love.
We watched.
I don't know.
Now this one I liked. This was a series. What do they call it? A limited series where it's just a few episodes. I think this is 4 episodes. Also on Max. The Truth About Jim. Now this one was juicy.
This one was good. Jim's a real pill.
Jim's kind of a jerk. Come to find out, Jim, not a nice fella. Long story short, it's this young lady. She's kind of the main investigator, the main character, I guess, of this series, and her grandfather. She's investigating her now deceased grandfather, and he was just a world-class prick.
Real bad dude. We're talking
child molester, rapist, incest. Among other things. So
worked at a high school so he can groom people.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of 3 chapters in that we get the backstory of what a prick her grandfather was. Just not a nice dude. Had since passed of something. Was it cancer? I think he had cancer. Passed a few years ago. Cancer. So she's the first episode just setting up what a jerk he was. Like he was a high school teacher and had inappropriate relations with students, some consensual, some non-consensual, cheated on all his wives, on like his 3rd wife. So that they set up his background of just being a jackass. And then it pivots to, he might be the Santa Rosa hitchhike killer up in Santa Rosa, California, north of the Bay Area. I guess this would have been mid to late 70s. I think it was upwards of like 8 different young girls.
Is this the hogtied ones?
Not even
women.
women.
I'm saying that about humans.
Well, yeah. So, and I don't want to give everything away. So,
man.
So they think he might have been the Santa Rosa hitchhike killer. And then they pivot even again to where maybe he was the Zodiac killer.
That was a different move.
And my problem with that chapter of it was the lady, the granddaughter, did a great job of like orchestrating this investigation.
Oh, she crushed it.
Gathering all this great intel
She
and
had
evidence.
that big board with the red strings and the pictures.
Yeah.
Very
And
good.
so her investigations lead her to think, well, he might be the Santa Rosa hitchhike killer, but also everything's starting to line up to where was Grandpa also the Zodiac killer, because the locations were similar. The timeline was similar. And then she goes and presents all her information to a self-proclaimed Zodiac expert. And I always thought this is weird. He almost immediately was like, nah, nice try, lady.
Yeah, because
like,
he hated women.
But like, it's not like she was saying, hey, mister, I think your grandma or your grandfather might have been the... Like, we already know that the Zodiac killer killed people, but the expert was kind of very dismissive of her theory or her hypothesis that maybe my grandfather was... I don't know, it was just weird to take someone like the Zodiac, and then when someone's like, did he also kill these people? Pfft, you wish. Nice try. Well, I'm not saying my kindergarten teacher killed these people. I'm asking if this guy who's already, we know, has killed dozens of people, could he?
Yeah.
He just had such a dismissive attitude.
100%.
And his whole angle was, well, the MO's different. The Zodiac killer would kill people and leave them there and bolt. The Santa Rosa hitchhike killer would kill people and then bring them with him, tie them up, torch them, and then dump them. But the main point that they made in the thing that she didn't make to the expert of the Zodiac was in the Zodiac's letters to the San Francisco Chronicle, one of them mentioned at some point that, hey, I'm going to change up my MO. I'm going to keep killing people, but I'm going to change up how I do it just to fuck with you guys. But then this expert's like, yeah, but the MO was different. And she never once was like, yeah, but the Zodiac said he was going to change his MO.
Yeah.
So
she
that-
doubted herself.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, I guess you're right. He's not.
But that was a very good one. Just
Ooh.
it's funny too. Like if you ever doubt yourself as far as like, am I a good person? Am I a good husband? Am I a good whatever? Just watch some true crime and you're like, well, I
Lowering
never
the
did
bar.
that shit. I never raped a woman, hogtied her, and threw in a ditch, so I'm doing pretty good.
Oh,
Like
that shouldn't be
yeah,
the measuring
yeah,
stick.
that is a low bar.
But true, I didn't murder anyone or...
But like just this,
know.
and then of course she got a lot of backlash of like, this guy's dead. He's not here to defend himself. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Ew.
His victims are dead and they can't defend themselves. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Now I feel like that pertains to just general shit talking.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
we're not going to general shit talk and hearsay people. But people have been tortured and murdered.
We're allowed to
And there's
talk
a
about
lot
that.
of evidence that says grandpops could have done it. So I'm not going to bite my tongue on this. But yeah, I thought that was weird. Like, oh, she got a lot of online hate that you shouldn't be digging up. The past is the past. Bullshit. Now, the past is not the past if you might be a horrific serial killer.
Oh boy,
serial rapist.
Charlie's being... He
But
doesn't
yeah,
like this topic.
The Truth About Jim, that was good. Mostly harmless. Meh. We watched another true crime, Lover, Stalker, Killer. That was a good one. Netflix.
I knew what was happening
You
the
called that one.
whole time.
Lover, Stalker, Killer. Another limited series, I think 3 or 4 episodes. Just this regular Joe. He's divorced. He's trying to get back in the dating game. He gets on the online apps and whatnot. Starts dating this gal, and oh boy, does she turn into quite a piece of work.
Spicy. It's spicy, but also I was like, yawn, because I know those
You saw it
people.
coming.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I'm a great psycho. What am I? Oh, psycho school.
You're a psycho whisperer.
I am. I know.
And then
Because I am.
you've been watching, what's the other one you've been watching? I haven't seen yet.
The Feud.
How's that?
Season 2, Truman Capote and his swans. It is phenomenal. It has Diane Lane. We got Callista Flockhart. We got...
Where's she been?
I don't know.
Ally McBeal?
I think married to Harrison Ford on an island, probably.
Oh, I didn't know they were married.
I think.
That's always neat to find out, like celebrities that I didn't realize.
Yeah.
How about that?
I wonder what their conversations are. It's like, Air Force One, that was a good movie. And she's like, I used to have an eating disorder.
Yeah. Did you like Ally McBeal?
No, I didn't. It never caught. I never caught
I never saw it either.
But I heard, I do remember the commercials.
The dancing
and
baby?
The dancing baby. I remember the dancing baby.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Who else is in this show? Demi Moore?
Demi Moore's in it. She's phenomenal.
Chloe?
Chloe Sevigny.
Chloe, I never know how to pronounce her last name.
I love Chloe.
Is it Sevigny? Sevigny? I always call it Sevigny. That just sounds...
I just... Hey, Charlie.
good. Hey.
Oh, God. Get out of here. He's nervous about his bone.
So this is about Truman Capote and just... Who are the swans? These women he knew that he was feuding with?
No, they were high society ladies. So ladies who lunch in New York, like back in the day. One of the ladies who's played by Naomi Watts.
Yeah.
Which was Truman Capote's real, like, soulmate.
Okay.
Because they were just best of friends. And he said about Babe, she's perfect. The only thing wrong with her is she's perfect. Isn't that the sweetest little thing to say?
Isn't that cute?
I love that. But yeah, it goes into his alcoholism. He kind of did an expose about all of these ladies who have trusted him, like just gave him all the tea. And he spilled it in Esquire magazine, and then they shunned him from New York society.
Oh, really?
But it gets spicy. It's so good. And I never knew about, like, that, like, Lee Radswell, who's a Kennedy, I don't know, married, she's like a Princess Kennedy, something with a princess. But that whole, like, that, like, royalty of New York society, like, really, yeah, maybe we should put him up here. Charlie, sorry, guys, who's listening, Charlie's being a little diva.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah. Into it.
Yeah? Is it something I would like?
Okay, I think, yes, you got to give it a second chance.
Okay.
And I love seeing women just band together and take someone down. It's great.
Okay.
Sorry.
What did he do wrong that needed to be taken down?
Well, he was awful.
Was he?
He told, like, affairs that they, like, all these things that are, like, in the vault.
Okay.
Like, hi, best friend, I'm going to tell you this. And then he just exposed them all.
Why? What was his motive for doing that?
He just wanted to. He wanted to be...
Just a gossip?
Yeah.
Just a shit stir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little shit stir.
I've never seen that movie.
It's like the original Housewives, really.
It's the one that put him on the map, In Cold Blood, based on a true story. He wrote it was a true story, then he wrote a book, and then they made a movie about it.
Yeah, but it was based on a true story because it was, but yeah, Demi Moore.
Family gets killed in Kansas.
There's something interesting. Oh, boy. The boys are really having a battle royale for these new beds.
Well, good times, Boo.
Yes.
Little couch potato action
The
there.
feud, though. Get into
The
it,
feud.
guys.
The Trouble with Jim. I recommend that one. It's very good.
And if you need a nap, Anatomy of a Fall. I'm kidding.
No, it's good.
It is good. I want to be like cultured
the
and
acting
smart
was
to like
great.
it.
The acting was really good.
It was good.
And the story was good. It was just one of those you figure it out type endings, and that kind of I don't know. It's just weird to go. You know how hard it is to make a damn movie.
I'm assuming a lot.
The time and the money
and the
just
effort and
everything.
the calls, a lot of lunches.
And then at the end, just to kind of have an ambiguous ending. Like, I get it if it's based on a true story and we don't know the real ending, but like, just write an ending if this is fiction.
Yeah.
Just give us something. I'll calm down.
Yeah.
Moving on. Let's take some calls. If you don't have the new number,
we have one, a new one.
Give us a call. You know what? Right now would be a good time to stop what you're doing.
Don't brake check anyone. Just slowly get over on the freeway.
Create new contact. Put us in your phone. 213-282-3615.
In that order.
213-282-3615. Give us a call. Yeah. You know, we're here for, we don't have all the answers, but we have ears, and we have open minds and open hearts.
Yeah, and I have a lot of metaphors that are going to be misused if you call, too.
Rachel Rachel from New Mexico is checking in.
Hi, my name is Rachel. I hope you can hear me. I'm in my car. I have a question, and maybe you guys can help me out. Because none of my friends are unmarried, everybody I know is married. They all are kind of old-fashioned. Everybody's like joint bank accounts, and they move in together and all that. And I'm just not that way. I'm divorced. My ex-husband was gay. I pretty much knew about it the whole time, so there's all that drama and trust. And yeah, now I'm dating somebody. He's considerably younger, I'd say, like 8 years. I'm 43. He's 35. And he's, serious. Like, he wants to be serious, and I'm not so much, and we've kind of came to an agreement on that. But now, it seems like he never has any money. And I have been very clear from the beginning, like, my money is my money. It was when I was married. I don't want to, like, cohabitate or anything. But he'll ask me for loans, and he pays me back. He always does. And it's nothing huge. It's not like thousands of dollars. It's $50, $100, something like that. Two times it was rent. And I'm just thinking, how do you not have any money? How is he supposed to convince me that I should be with you? Or is that a shitty thing to be? Should I not think that way? I don't know. I just don't know if I'm being an ass or not, and thinking that, why don't you have any damn money ever? What are you doing with it? I don't know. Tell me. Help me. Love you guys. You're awesome. I live in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Breaking Bad country. Peace out.
Rachel, thanks for checking in.
Rachel, what a wonderful... I just love you. I love you, Rachel.
So she's dating a younger fella and he's always broke.
Oh.
I mean, I can sympathize. I've been broke most of my adult life.
Have you asked for a loan from the person that you're dating?
I don't think so. Have I ever borrowed money from you? I don't think so. Yeah. No, I've never.
No. Nope.
I mean, that's always a touchy subject, you know? I mean, you can't judge someone for being broke. You can judge someone for being financially irresponsible. You know, I don't mind loaning a buddy money, but then when I see him just constantly buying $14 packs of cigarettes,
right.
You know, I got a 49-year-old buddy who asked to borrow $3 or $4 one time.
I need about $3.50.
What's $3.50?
$3.50.
Hey, can you cash at me $3 or $4?
Oh.
Well, what's going? I feel like I need to do more than that. If you're
3 or 4.
What's going on today where you need $3 or $4?
Okay.
And you need to get the banks and the apps involved.
That's true.
That's what confuses me about my particular incident there with my buddy. Like, I don't want to get banks and apps involved over $3 or $4.
No.
Here, take 20, take 50, but like $3 or $4. But
okay.
Yeah, I was broke up until a few years ago.
Okay.
You know, living in a van, chasing a dream. And I'm not saying that I got a pass for that, but like, if I'm going to loan money to a friend, you know, I'm probably a little more sympathetic to the person who is grinding and who's following a dream, and maybe they're living an unorthodox lifestyle and they're foregoing the 9 to 5 and they're chasing a dream and they're doing. I'm a little more willing to hand over a little loan to someone like that than just, I'm bad with money.
Yeah.
I can't stop smoking cigarettes and just pissing my money away.
Yeah, I don't like this guy.
So,
okay, I'm going to go in deep because,
And I'm not judging smokers, by the way. Like, I spend money on equally as stupid stuff, but, you know, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all right. Rachel, you're beautiful and amazing and a unicorn that deserves to be treated like a queen. This guy blows. I love you. He sucks. Here's the thing. He wanted to get into a relationship with you. That's what you said, right? And then you were like, no, because that was your inner voice, girl. Yeah, no. This guy is not ready for a relationship. This guy he's not even taking care of himself. How's he supposed to take care of you? You are listening to your cues, your body cues. Everything about you is awesome and truthful. And I'm really sorry about your divorce. And I think you just deserve so much better. This guy, maybe he is the guy for you in like 80 years when he gets his SHIT together. But right now, run away. I'm sorry. I mean, I think date all you want, but also...
Well, she said he pays her back.
Say no. Nope.
You know?
And let's see if he sticks around. Nope.
What annoys me is, hey, can I borrow $300? I'll pay you back Thursday.
Obviously, Dave has some stuff about this.
And Thursday was back in September. But, like, no, my point is, don't say Thursday if you don't mean Thursday. You know?
Charlie,
like, what's your plan to pay me back? Like, what happens on Thursday?
It's
and I've
so
been there.
cute.
I've had bridge loans. Like, hey, dude, I've got a check coming in on Friday. I just need it for a few days. And then, you know, hey, they borrow it and the check comes in and boom, boom. That I have no problem with. But to just arbitrarily, you know, I'll pay you back Thursday. How? And then, of course, Thursday comes and,
Well,
you know.
I was harsh. Here's the thing. I would sit down with him and be like, look, it makes me really uncomfortable that you're asking to borrow money, and I don't feel good about it. So if we can just leave finances, you know, out of it, and we could just date, and get to know each other more and, you know, see where this goes. But I feel uncomfortable.
Well, especially in the context of a relationship. I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but it feels, asking to borrow $50 from a friend feels a little different than asking to borrow $50 from your girlfriend or boyfriend or partner or whomever.
Right.
Because especially if he's wanting to get serious.
I know.
Hey, buddy,
Well, look
how
at
am I
it.
supposed to get serious with
Yep.
a 35-year-old man who can't manage his money any better than that? And I know that sounds judgmental because I've been there. I've been broke as shit. But I also, even when I was broke, I managed what little money I had the best I could. I didn't just go out and throw it away on nonsense and then be like, hey, I need more to
Right.
whomever was hooking me up.
But you
So-
paid back your debts.
But
and
yeah.
it wasn't, yeah.
But if you're wanting to be in a relationship with someone, like, I know this sounds petty, but like, even $50, it's, well, how are you going to behave if we do get married?
I
If
think-
we do
yeah.
become a family unit and our finances become, you know, combined. And I think it shows, you know, good faith to pay off your debts and to maybe even avoid that situation to
Yeah.
begin with.
Well, and also, Rachel, I love you. You are so young. You're 43. This guy is not much younger than you. I mean, I know 8 years feels like a lot, but
That is a lot. I think in that, you'd always say, well, no one's going to care when she's 90 and he's 82, but 43 and 35 is big enough. And I'm sure I'm wrong with this, but especially in that direction, with the woman being 8 years older.
oh yeah,
I don't know why, but that just seems, I'm 6 years older than you, and that
Right.
never felt like an issue for either one of us.
no.
But if it were reversed, I don't know. Why is that weird? Just because it's a little more uncommon?
I'm assuming, like, for me, if I was dating someone 8 years younger, I would feel like not cool and like out of, you know, being like, oh, they're young, you know, like they don't really know anything, which is wrong. And that's how I would feel about it. But as we get older, as ladies and in society, it's like, oh no, I'm over 40 and it's awful and now I'm dead. And that's not true. You are a beautiful, vibrant, amazing woman in Breaking Bad country where there's so many people that are just waiting to take you out. And I'm not saying you need to go out with like a dude that has a lot of money. No, you can date cheap. Go to like parks, go to coffee, go on nice walks. Like it just takes creativity and courting someone. The red flag I hear was he wanted to be in a relationship. She said no. And then he was like, cool, all right, let me get something out of this. Let me borrow money. That's what I'm hearing because I am negative towards men and I'm sorry. But if you have a calm conversation, then awesome. Also be calm because money is a hard thing to, you know, ask for. But he's asking for it, so you could say no.
Yeah, and to be clear, you shouldn't choose a partner just based on finances one way or the other.
No. No.
We know people who only date successful professionals, you know, doctors, dentists, perhaps, whomever, fill in the blank. And while that's great, my point is if that's the only criteria that you're aiming for, then, don't be surprised if you overlook his character or his moral makeup or whatever. If you're only, it's the same way with guys. A lot of times guys only, and I've been there. I dated a gal.
You did a hot girl. You did a 10. She was a 10. She's hot.
Just a world-class piece of shit.
Okay.
But I didn't notice any of that at first because I was so enamored of how beautiful she was.
Yeah.
And same thing with a woman trying to hook up with a rich dude. Like, okay, he's rich, but did you not realize that he's an abusive asshole? Or fill in the blank.
For sure.
I
also think women that are older, and I love that Rachel said, okay, this is my money from my divorce. This is, good. But also cool. If you just want a toy boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you just want an F-boy and do it all the time and don't give him money, awesome.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
Use them.
That's a good angle.
But I think I just want her to know how special she is, because every woman, every person is special and deserves to be treated like a king or queen or whatever.
But it's also about boundaries, and it sounds like she's working towards establishing those boundaries.
She has great instinct. Like, she already knew. She was like, am I being weird or mean? No. Oh, good job. Yeah. It is over. We are done with this section.
Thank you, Rachel.
Rachel, thank you. Let me know what happens, and I'm sorry if I was harsh to your friend.
Yeah, but... I'm sure he's nice, but, tell him to get his shit together.
Yeah, come on.
No scrubs.
No scrubs.
She don't want no scrubs.
Scrub is a guy. You remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
Still can't get over the $3 or $4 loan.
All right. I know. Let's keep
I thought he was joking when he sent me that text. I was like, oh, you're serious?
I need about $3.50. $3.50.
I've never had somebody ask me. Well, I have. I have had somebody ask me for $3 or $4. Okay.
213-282-3615. Give us a holler. Let us know what's on your mind. We're here for encouragement. We have a few answers. We don't have all the answers. But,
no, usually they're just,
create new contact. Space. Put us in your phone.
Oh.
And we'll always be here for you. Boo, moving right along.
All right, today,
what do we got? We got a topic this week?
Oh, shit, I was saving that. We do have a topic.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about...
Set the timer. We got everything up and running. Right on.
We're going. We're talking about cues.
Uh-huh.
Look at this lady. Vanessa Van Edwards.
Yeah. She's got her shit together, I bet.
She does. She looks like a business lady, business-minded woman.
What is that? I'm a business-minded business-minded woman who means business.
Yes. So basically this is talking about body cues, how to read people's body language.
Okay.
And I thought it would be fun to kind of introduce it and speak to it for our YouTube viewers with my favorite doll.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
This isn't the show us... Okay.
Nope.
This isn't a courtroom doll?
Nope.
All right.
This is Molly.
Hey, Molly.
Now, Molly.
She's got a raincoat on.
She has a raincoat on.
She got a bunch of shit on her face.
Well, I was trying to put makeup on at a young age, and it was permanent marker. That's not my fault.
Gotcha.
She had a little rain boot on.
So you've had Molly for years.
And some roller skates.
You've had Molly since you were a kid?
Yeah.
Way to go.
I know.
All right.
American Girl dolls, if anyone remembers, this was like the hot commode to get when you were in like elementary school. And she has roller skates.
Okay.
I like it. She's like Usher.
She has roller skate.
Yeah, I couldn't find the other rain boot, so here we go. Right. Anyway, so she's going to help us. But basically, her hat fell. R.I.P. I wasn't really good with dolls growing up.
It's okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to talk about body cues and how we can communicate with people and show them we're interested.
Okay.
Oh, and also, if you want to know when people aren't interested, they're going to give you cues. We all give each other cues. Cue for conversation. But I want to go ahead and start today. It's all body cues. There's verbal cues, but today's body cues only, baby.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Oh, hold on.
Look out.
I also have a hand.
Okay.
To show hand things. And then
Where'd you get that?
At that one store that sells incense, the mall. That's like a new wave. Like new agey store.
New agey?
Yeah. They do tarot cards too. Anyway, get on the board for the Q train.
Okay.
Did you get... No.
Oh, the train. I love that. I used to have one of those.
Yeah. There's a cute little train on it. All right, that's my second prop of the day.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start off with whatever. No, please don't put. What are you doing?
He's Shaka Bra.
He's Shaka Bra?
Shaka Bra.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a cue for what in Hawaiian?
What is it? Shaka Bra? It's just...
Shaka Bra.
What does
it means
that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it means either. Shaka Bra.
Fail. Okay. So, Boo, what
Hello?
is it? What am I doing? What am I doing right now? Am I using my hands a lot?
Yeah.
Hey, guess what?
What?
If you use your hands a lot in conversation, people will listen to you more.
Okay.
But not,
I tend to speak with my hands quite a bit.
you do a good job.
My dad used to say if you tied my my arms behind my back, I wouldn't be able to speak.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've always been
Always,
expressive.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a big thing, especially with our palms. Go ahead, put your little paws up for me. Aw, that's just fun. Fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does that mean, though? Why
So
do we do
if
that?
our palm is up, for example, like this, right? What does that say to you?
Welcome.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Sit on my lap.
Let's have a hug if you want. If not, that's okay. I'm open to you. The palms are very powerful. Powerful palms. We're going to take Shaka Bra.
Okay.
And we're going to just open this palm up. Hey, like a high five. Hello, let's do it. We're in it together. It's fun. So, palm up is openness and trust. That's what it means. So, in the Last Supper picture, the smash hit Jesus one, Jesus is in the middle of this supper and his palms are out. So he's saying, hey, everybody, I'm a cool person.
Hey, come on.
And God and stuff. Don't kill me. Meanwhile, a lot of the shady mofos, the apostles are crouched down, hands are clenched. Now, if hands are clenched a lot when somebody's talking, what does that mean? They're lying. Liars.
Oh, fist clench means they're lying?
So if I'm like, okay, like a lot of clenching, closeness, because I'm memorizing and thinking of the lie. I'm rehearsing my recital lie.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, I can't really, you're sort of, that's a cue for lying. Not all the time, but it is. All right. Signal of power and dominance is palm down.
Like
Interesting.
How?
So if I'm trying to be intimidating, palm down. This is power. This is utilizing my power and leadership.
Okay.
Palm down.
But no, show me a real example. No
Well, I'm
one
trying.
walks around like that. Kind of a maniac.
Well,
I'm very intimidating. Back off.
palm down.
Palm down, mofo.
Well, look, when I'm like, hey, I have something to tell you. So this is important. My palms are down to the ground. So I don't really know the signal.
That's okay.
Okay. Now let's go to
That's
leaning.
a prison thing, though, is keeping your hands out of your pocket.
So you see them.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if your
just so-
palms are facing yourself, that's probably what palm down means. If it's facing yourself, it's like, no, I got this.
Okay.
Come at me, fool. Don't come at me, bro, in a Lexus.
My grandfather was a Marine, and he would always preach, amongst some of his other nonsense, that a real man never keeps his hands in his pockets. And I don't know if I ever told you this story. Long story short, at my brother's wedding, I was the best man, and I was supposed to hold on to the ring, and I put the ring in my pants pocket right before the wedding, and then we're up there about to do the thing, and I can't find, it's not in my thing. So my hand's in my pockets the whole time.
Oh, God.
Trying to find this ring, and then later my grandfather's like, why'd you have your hands in your pockets the whole time? And by the way, we never found the ring, so we faked it. I faked, gave it to him, and he faked, put it on her. And then come to find out, there was a hole in the lining of my rented tux, and it got stuck like down around my knee, and I didn't know it. And his mom, I can't even speak.
Welcome to my world. every day.
I'm so detached from that whole side of the family that I can't remember anybody's name. But anyway, her mom got all pissed off at me because I lost the ring, and I'm like, well, I didn't rent this stupid tux with a hole in it.
Yeah.
But I stood in the whole wedding. I had my hands in my pockets, and that pissed off my grandfather.
Yeah, because that's kind of like you're crouching. You're trying to. If your hands are apparently, according to Vanessa, if your hands are crossed in front of you, you are not liking what's happening.
Oh, that's the classic comedy club.
Hello.
The "you ain't funny" posture. I get this all the time.
Like judging the audience.
This guy's not very funny. I'm funnier than this guy.
Right.
So much
not in the performance out, like when they're watching.
The
audience. Yes.
Whenever I'm on stage and I see an audience member pulling this shit, then they become my target. Like, not in terms of like engaging them. I don't do crowd work, but like I'm going to make that bastard laugh.
Yeah.
You know.
I like that. Well, when you're on stage, you have such a commanding and awesome, confident stage presence. And I learned this from Monica Ganis and Aaron Gaw, who greatest. You are taking up space. You're powerful. Like when I do this, roll my shoulders back, put my arms down, I feel more confident. I feel like a swan of Truman Capote, but if I'm crouched in and going in and getting all scared, I'm trying not to be seen. And so I don't want any attention.
Yeah.
So the crouching in, that's why a lot of, I had that all the time as a tall person, as a tall girl. I would walk on stage and I would just be hunched and like, don't look at me. But it's like, no, pull those shoulders back. Get those girls out there. I meant, I don't know, boobs?
Yeah, girls.
Yeah. Okay.
Tatas.
All right. So let's go back. Let's go to a cue called leaning.
Okay.
Look at us. We're leaning.
That means you're intrigued. You're interested.
You're
listening.
interested. Yes. If you go from crossed arms and then a lean, you got that person. That person's leaning in. Their eyes are locked on you. They're interested, nodding. You are actually listening. That's a cue. Also, if we lean back, that's also a cue. Like, I want to leave. Where's the exit? Why is this person talking? I am leaning back.
That's no comedy trick, too. You lean in at the punchline. It makes people think that,
Yeah, because it's like a secret. Like when I'm like, I got some tea.
Yeah. But you don't want to do it too much. You don't want to be formulaic with it. We had a guy in Atlanta, I won't say his real name, but his nickname, I don't know if he knew this or not, we called him Hackbot. Because he was like a robot, but he was really hacky.
Yeah.
And he had like this cadence and this rhythm to every joke. Every joke was set up, punchline.
Oh. So he taught the audience.
Yeah, everything set up, punchline. So you train the audience, and even like after halfway through the show, even if you don't think his jokes are funny, whenever everybody, this is where I'm supposed to laugh at this hack.
Yeah.
So you want to utilize these techniques. This is just in the context of comedy. You want to utilize these techniques, but you don't want to overdo it and be formulaic with it.
Right. You don't want to go crazy with your arms when you're trying to make a point.
I can't believe it's not cocaine.
Oh, boy. Anyway. Call back to last week. All right, so check out Molly.
Yeah, hey, Molly.
Look at her feet.
Yeah?
Feet say a lot, and I'll tell you why. If somebody likes you, their toes are pointed towards you.
Okay.
Right now, Molly's toes are pointed towards you.
Okay.
Hey, guess what? If Molly's toes go this way, not interested.
Okay.
She wants to leave. Goodbye, Molly.
So you want to kind of line up your whole body with who you're talking to if you're interested in it.
If you're interested. But if you see somebody move their toes away in any way, they're torquing their body this way. So it's like a weird turn. And then they're turning away from you. And guess what? That means they have to go. Okay? Or that means you said something and something's off. Yeah. So you could read the body cues.
When I was a cop, we would read cues too, body cues. Those were important. There was two that we'd always look for. Whenever you're dealing with like a bad guy and they start looking around, they're looking around for one of two reasons. They're looking around for an escape route.
Right.
Or they're looking around to make sure there's no witnesses to whatever they're about to do.
God.
So whenever we were dealing with someone and they started like looking around for escape routes, you knew some shit was about to go down. I've had guys like literally crack their knuckles And sure enough, 12 seconds later, we're in a fight.
Yeah.
I've had guys.
Because you're getting ready.
I've had
You're
guys
stretching 'em
stretch. I've had guys like stretch their legs, and 10 seconds later, 1080 on foot.
That means they're running.
1080 is a chase. Did I ever tell you this story? This was very common. This happened to me about 5 times where a chase would begin and immediately I would be like, well, I'm not catching that guy. So 1080 is a chase. 1080 on foot specifically is a foot chase. The guy's running. And so long story short, there's a lot of police lingo here. But you'd have to give codes out all the time. Like at the end, if I go to a call and I wrap up the call, it's usually one of 3 things. When I get back on the radio, it's either show me 10-8, code 15, means I'm back in service, but I need a case number because this was a big enough deal where I have to write a report. Code 15 was give me a case number to the 911 operator.
Right.
Or 10-8, back in service. Code 13 means no action taken. So, like, if you go to a call and it's just a bunch of nothing, you're not going to write a report. Nothing happened. No crime was committed. Show me 10-8, 13. 10-8, back in service. 13, no action taken. I don't need a case number. Not writing a report. So many times this would happen where it'd be like, you know, my beat number, my unit number was 3113. So it'd be 3113, 1080 on foot, white male, 6 foot, orange shirt. You know, and then everybody stops and listens. Oh, shit, Stone's in a foot chase. And then about 10 seconds later, 3113, show me 10-8, 13. Meaning no action taken because that motherfucker is gone. I am not catching that dude. So it was always funny when you would hear 1080 on foot, followed by shortly thereafter, show me 10-8, 13.
Oh.
That just means that dude hopped 3 fences and is a county away, and I'm not catching that bastard. So I'm back in service, no action taken.
Freeze!
Oh, yes, Edwards.
Man.
But that was just always funny radio traffic because one of the most invigorating things is when you hear someone in a chase.
Yeah.
And then 5 seconds later, you hear that they're back in service, no action taken.
That's crazy.
That happens so many times.
Oh my
Because, you know,
gosh.
you're out there dealing with some 17-year-old track star, and if he decides to run,
Yeah.
well, shit, good luck, buddy.
Well, it's also that Vanessa, good old Vanessa talks about that, and that's called fronting. So when you're fronting, you're trying to sort of point your feet a little more open so you have an escape route. So if you see somebody like leaning back and fronting at a party, they're not comfortable. They want to leave.
Well, it's the
100%.
classic LA move.
Right.
It's a cliche, but it's true. Of like you're at a party and whoever you're talking to, they're looking over your shoulder to see if they can find someone more important to talk to.
Oh my gosh, that happens to me like every day. That happens to me at CVS with like the lady checking me out. I swear, because I don't do the robots. Sorry.
Watch out now.
Open palms. There's so much more, but I think, you know, maybe we'll do a 2-parter.
What did you get to? I mean, anything else we should know before we move on?
Well,
Anything very exciting?
there are competence cues.
Now, what's that?
Now that means power posture. So if you flex your lower eyelid, try to flex your lower eyelid.
I don't even know what that means. Flex.
It's like a model
Like
move.
squint?
It's a squint, like sun's in my eyes. I think. Like try to. Like that. That's I think.
You know what-
lower lid. She said. Huh. I don't know.
You know what the douchiest thing someone ever told me?
Flex lid, not lower.
There's a guy out here who's a pretty big celebrity now, and I won't name him. But one time he told me, like, if you're ever at a premiere or any event and you're getting your picture taken, always stand to the camera's far left. Be the first one. That way, when they in the caption, that your name will show up first.
Whoa.
So like in a magazine, if there's a picture, red carpet picture with 4 people standing there, that person from the camera's perspective to the far left, your name will be first in the caption.
Oh, that's
I'm like, boy, you thought way too much about this shit, dude.
I want to go ahead and say it's flex lid, not lower lid.
Okay.
So flex your lid.
What lid? Oh.
Your eyes.
Okay.
Your eyes were...
I don't know what flex means. I can squint them or I can close them.
Yeah, I don't know. She's kind of hard with the... Okay, then there's the steeple. Okay. Look at this. I'm making a steeple with my hands. Apparently, this is definitely a power move. This is what leaders use. You just put all your fingertips together, make a little steeple in front of you.
Excellent.
Yeah, you don't want to overuse it.
Excellent.
And then we just have to be open. You know, I think we should go to parties and just be open.
Hey, everyone.
We come to our party and be open.
I bring you love.
That's what I have for cues today.
Body cues.
Body cues.
Thank you, Boo.
Hey,
I feel
no
like
problem.
I learned something.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. Molly learned something too.
All right, moving on. We got a new feature I'm very excited about.
Dinner was always a big thing. We had a pasta course, and then we had a meat or a fish.
An equal amount of blueberries in each muffin.
Sir, jelly donuts, sir. A jelly donut?
Nothing gives me more pleasure than cracking an egg.
Will you do me a favor and shut up about your food?
He does the research, then eats it. It's time for the food report with Dave on the Stonebergs.
Yeah, there we go. Little food report. I was doing Dave's Kitchen, and I feel like that kind of confines me to just recipes.
Yeah,
But with the food report, I feel like I'm free
I like
to
it.
talk about all things food. Because it's one of my favorite things to talk about. They say talk about what you know,
Yeah,
and I know food.
you do.
I've been cooking a lot lately.
Oh my gosh, it's
Cooking
been,
it up.
You've been crushing the
Crushing the
cooking.
game. I cooked some beef short ribs the other night. Holy shit. Those were good. That's probably one of my favorite dishes to cook.
It's so good. That was on Valentine's Day. You made me a
That's
Valentine.
right. Valentine's.
beef
I
short
made
rib.
red wine braised beef short ribs.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And
red one. You make me feel.
I found a new technique to make a pan sauce. So I won't go through the whole recipe stuff, but yeah.
Okay.
Use a pan sauce when you're braising whatever you're braising, and you pull it out of the oven. It's done. Pull the meat out. Let it rest. You drain that braising liquid. It's going to probably have a bunch of vegetables, onions and carrots and celery. All that stuff's mush at this point. It was just used to flavor the meat. So you strain all that, keep the liquid, get rid of the veggies. Then you throw that liquid into a pan and reduce it down for a few minutes, and then add a little cornstarch. That'll thicken it up. Now you got a sauce to put over.
Which was
your
delicious.
beautiful braised beef short ribs. So I cooked that the other night.
Yeah, crushed it.
Made biscuits yesterday. Ooh. Been working on. I got some ideas for my biscuits.
Your biscuit game is crazy good.
I used to do pop-ups at comedy shows back in the day where I would sell homemade biscuits. Let's just say that idea might be coming back.
Might be coming back.
Old biscuit daddy's on the loose. But, oh boy, made some great biscuits yesterday. Here's a tip for your biscuits. Freeze the butter and then grate it with a cheese grater. Ooh. Yeah, that's one of several little tips and secrets I have for my biscuits.
They're delicious.
They're
Mark
doing
and
well.
Virgie loved theirs.
Oh yeah,
we ding dong ditched them
Yeah.
with biscuits.
Yeah, I made a big batch and dropped some off over at the neighbors. What else did I do this weekend? I went back to that meat pop-up of the Adam Perry Lang. Now, I like to correct myself if I get something wrong. I was calling it porchetta. I think I was actually eating porchetta. Porchetta, and I for some reason I thought it was a splayed out butterfly pork shoulder. It's porchetta is a whole pork belly, and not just the pork belly with the loin attached, like where pork chops come from, or a whole pork loin. That's at the end of the pork belly, and then what they do is they season it all up with herbs and stuff, and then they roll it up
with like a net.
Yeah, they roll it up with butcher's twine, and then you can roast it, you can smoke it, do whatever, and then you got that the skin on the outside. Oh my god,
it's delicious.
Went back and man, I only stayed in line for like 30 minutes this time because I got there pretty early. But then you get up there after you place your order, then you go up to the counter and you're waiting for them to give you your order. And dude, Adam Perry Lang and his crew are just doing their thing.
Oh, I bet that's fun to watch.
Chopping ribs and they had these tomahawk ribeyes. But yeah, porchetta, real good stuff. So I went back and had some of that.
Did you see Paul Dano?
No, Paul Dano was not there. I feel like I did see somebody. I saw some. You
didn't tell me this.
Mild celebrity. I forgot who it was.
What?
Yeah. It was somebody not worth remembering. Here's a tip. Oh, I get excited about little things. If anybody knows my culinary proclivities, I'm a big fan of cast iron. The cast iron skillet.
Oh, right.
It's what I use almost every day.
Yeah.
Cast iron skillet is great for almost everything. It's not great for eggs. for scrambled eggs. It's okay for a fried egg.
Not an egg pan.
I finally broke down and bought myself a nonstick pan, and it's simply for eggs. Just nothing. I'm cooking nothing in that but eggs.
That's good to know,
And
even though I don't cook. But.
Yeah, and I don't know the science behind it. I don't know what makes it nonstick, the materials or whatever, however they do. But you don't need any fat or oil or butter. It will not stick. It's a non-stick pan.
It's incredible if you think about it.
It's up to my egg game. Here's another tip for eggs. I love a good scrambled egg. I like all kinds of eggs. I like a hard-boiled egg. I like a sunny side up. There's really not many eggs I won't eat. You're very particular.
No, I just like over medium, but in a very specific way.
Got a window of that much to get it right.
I'm the worst. I'm high maintenance and think I'm not.
I love a good soft scrambled egg. Here's a tip.
Ugh.
Oh,
sorry.
What? What's wrong with a soft scrambled egg?
No, because I like it crunchy, kind of.
Well, but with scrambled, soft scrambled egg's good. Here's a tip for the scrambled egg. A lot of people will add milk. I've even tried mayonnaise. Here's a tip. If you want to add loads of flavor, as my Australian friends once said, loads of flavor.
Loads of flavor.
See, I was driving a whole bunch of Australian dudes to Wendy's one time. The guy goes, hey, mate, you ever had a Wendy's burger? I go, yeah, man. He goes, yeah, we ate there last night. Massive hamburger, loads of flavor. Massive. Massive hamburger, loads of flavor. If you want loads of flavor in your scrambled eggs, when you crack the eggs into the bowl right before you whisk them up, little French onion dip.
Oh, okay.
Little French onion dip.
Okay,
for your scrambled eggs. It's good times. So,
and I'd like to make a note. I'm really sorry that I sneered at soft.
That's
eggs,
okay. That's okay. Soft scrambled.
Yeah, I apologize.
Delicious.
And I know that's not
because you don't want rubber. If
Right.
you overcook a scrambled egg, it's going to be rubbery,
which is sometimes fun.
I'll wrap it up.
Okay.
One last story, or one story. None of these have been stories, but I'm very excited about this. I've gone on record as saying one of my favorite restaurants in the world. It closed a few months ago, and you've been there with me. Arnold's Country Kitchen in Nashville, Tennessee, was one of the original meat and threes. We've talked about meat and threes. Skippy, do you know what a meat and three is? Well, sometimes people not from the South don't know what a meat and three. Meat and three is just a casual restaurant, cafeteria style, and you get in line. You don't order at the counter per se. You don't sit at the table. You go to the counter, and then you give you a tray, and then it's like cafeteria style where they might have 6 or 8 or 10 entrees and maybe 8 or 10 side dishes, and you pick one meat and 3 sides.
And it is
meat
delicious.
and 3.
It's delicious.
Arnold's Country Cooking in Nashville, been there for like 40 years, was one of my favorite restaurants in the country. They shut down about 6 months ago because I think one of the original owners passed away, so the family wasn't sure what to do, so they just shut it down. Everybody was heartbroken. Late December, they reopened. So if you're anywhere in the Nashville, Tennessee area, you can now go back and visit Arnold's Country Cooking. Is it Country Cooking or Country Kitchen? I don't know. Regardless, it's Arnold's.
It's a kitchen. Nope,
so delicious. But they're back open.
Well, this is wonderful.
It was such a
news.
tragedy in the culinary universe when they closed. But they're back. Oh, you can get country fried steak, get fried chicken, fried catfish. Then you get your sides, get you some cauliflower casserole. Get you some mac and cheese, some fried okra, some collard greens. Oh, boy.
I love your passion.
Meat and 3, baby.
Food.
Very excited that Arnold's is back on the scene.
Arnold's, welcome back.
So there you go. There's your inaugural food report.
Loved
inaugural. We're going to do it once a year.
Once a year.
Little scrambled egg tip, braised short rib tip.
All the tips.
Porchetta, not porchetta.
You get all the tips.
So there we go.
Fingertips
right there.
Oh, boy.
I like it. The food report. Word of mouth this week. Got a good one coming out. Let's see. This episode drops on Wednesday. So tomorrow, if you have Max, you can see my old buddy, one of the funniest human beings on the planet, Rory Scovel, has a new special on Max called Religion, Sex, and a Few Things in Between.
I like it.
February 22nd on Max. Rory Scovel. If you don't know Rory, oh my God.
Amazing.
One of the literally one of the funniest people on the planet. He's just one of those people where it's a cliche in comedy, but like he could literally go up and read the phone book and make you laugh.
Yeah.
And he literally has, I think his last special, one of his specials, he's probably the most improv heavy stand-up.
Yeah.
You know, there's kind of a rivalry between improv and stand-up, but he blends them both perfectly. The special he did in Atlanta at the Relapse Theater, the place where I started, I think, he's done a couple there. He's had one on Netflix. It still may be there. It's called Rory Scovel Tries Stand-Up for the First Time, which is funny.
That is funny.
It wasn't his first time.
Yeah.
But then he went back and did a thing where he did a whole week of shows at the Relapse. And I think the first show on Monday, the whole point was I've got no material, zero material, no pre-written material. And anything he came up with in that show on Monday, he could then use on Tuesday and so on and so on. And by the end of the week, he had like a whole hour of great material that he literally just developed over the course of the week.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which, if you know stand-up comedy, is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane to even attempt that. But he's just so naturally funny and so quick on his feet. But anyway, this special I think is more traditional with it, obviously being prepared material.
Yeah.
But just a funny dude. Been in a bunch of TV stuff. He's in that show. What's the show? He was in Physical.
Oh yeah, on
with
Apple.
Rose Byrne. He was in that. He was in that movie Babylon. He was in that movie. He's been in a ton of things.
Yeah, he's great.
But very funny dude. Rory Scovel, Scovel. February 22nd on Max. Sex, Religion, and a few things in between. Rory Scovel.
I love it.
Check it out.
Check it out,
Good
y'all.
times. Boo, it's been fun.
It's been a pleasure, Boo.
Where can we find you on social media?
KT Low Strandberg.
In that order?
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. How, you still doing stories and whatnot?
I am. I've dropped off a little. The feud really took me for a loop this week, so I gotta get back into it. But
I understand.
Boo, any plugs?
I always like your stories. They make me laugh.
I try.
Yeah, let's see. Instagram, it's _ Dave Stone. That's where you can find me there. And if you want to come see me in person, got a few new dates we'll get to here. Dates you've probably heard about on this show. March 15th, we'll be in Eureka, California at Savage Henry Comedy Club. Also there on Saturday, March 16th. Let's see. Tuesday, March 19th. Tuesday, March 19th, be in Portland, Oregon at Helium Comedy Club. Thursday, March 21st, we'll be in Chico, California at the Sierra Nevada Big Room. So that'll be fun. And then just got this one on the books. Tickets not quite available yet, but will be probably next week. May 15th, Denver, Colorado. I'm at the Bug Theater.
Ooh.
I think you're going to come with me on that one.
Buggy.
And then May 16th through the 19th, we'll both be at the Manitou Comedy Festival in Manitou Springs, Colorado.
I can't wait.
Some Colorado dates there in May, Denver and Manitou Springs. All the information available at dumbdavestone.com. The YouTube special still going strong on YouTube. Pack a Lunch. Check that out if you haven't seen that already. And the audio version is available wherever you stream, or you can get the vinyl. Mm-hmm. You want a 2 LP colored vinyl of Pack a Lunch. That's available at blondemedicine.com, or you can just contact me directly because I have a few left that I'm going to try to sling on the road. If you're listening to this and not seeing our beautiful faces, you're missing out because we are now available on the YouTube.
We are.
YouTube.com/@the_Stonebergs podcast. We finally hit triple digits on the subscribers.
That is awesome.
It's there's no end to what we might be able to accomplish at this point.
I think it's great. And nothing but up.
Nothing but up. Onward and upward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boo.
Welcome.
Open arms, guys.
Back off.
Palms down. High five.
Boo, we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We love you. Bye.
Oh, Lord, yeah. Okay, thank you.